Alright everyone, we are here with War 8 against SAS. I will be taking in Nick Fury, Captain Marvel, and Mr. Negative this war. Most of my fights will be Captain Marvel, so I will be running Suicides all war. I have Path 9 in Section 1 and Path 5 in Section 2, middle mini-boss, and a mini-boss on Boss Island. So this first fight here, nothing complicated about it. We're just going to nuke Arcus, get into binary really quickly between the cold snap and the incinerate, and then just nuke them. I still do pop in invulnerability boost here because we have them. Also a SP3 defense 25% boost in case that gets eaten by a combo and we end up taking a special 3. But this fight doesn't last long at all, very much under a minute. So it's very rare that we're going to take an SP3. It's just use it while I have it. So Suicides for extra damage, Cosmic Boost so that we can cycle some SP2s if we need to. Overall, it's a fun fight. Just got to look out for the tenacity since he is duped. So depending on Sig level, he'll shrug it, or he has a chance to shrug our parries. Any debuff, really. Any non-damaging debuff, really. But what you are going to see here is it actually takes me quite a bit to get into binary, and it's because I'm not getting any incinerates. So it was almost strictly off of cold snap, which kind of sucked. And then you're going to see, I think I miss a reparry. Maybe it was earlier. Yeah, it was earlier. There was a reparry missed. Thought I had it. But apparently with this cannon, Captain Marvel I've been doing pretty poorly at timing my parries. So it's been costing me potions. Anyway, moving on to this Massacre. Nothing to worry about here. Just be mindful that since I am running Suicides, I have to be aware that parry can fail, since he has a chance to make my defensive ability accuracy drop based on whether I have a debuff or not. So mindful of that. We're already in binary, so we're going to start throwing these SP2s, not worrying about the incinerate damage. Because of last war, I'm only going to heavy once while he's stunned, not twice. He's pretty much down, but I'm going to bait out this SP1, and he's just being really stubborn. I'm also having that issue where I try and bait a special and I parry instead. So that kind of delays it a little bit more, and he's just not wanting to throw it. Now my indestructible boost is gone, and now he's in the incinerate phase, and now, of course, he throws it. So we're going to take a little bit of incinerate damage, but he goes down before I can even get to SP2. So pretty easy Path 9 clear. Moving on to the only reason I have Mr. Negative on my team, and it's this Manthing on Power Snack. It's just a very lopsided fight for Mr. Negative, so it's kind of hard to die. I still have the indestructible boost on, but as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and remove it and just use one of the many combat regens that I have just to heal up, or just to counterbalance some of the bleed damage from Suicides, because I decided not to take them off. So parry heavy. Convert the light to dark. Eat the fury as light. Convert that to dark. Now we're at 6. Now we're going to build up some more light energy here again, through both converting buffs and from parry heavy. I'm going to actually squeeze in one more parry heavy. And I'm deciding that I'm going to let him combo into me and evade counter, but he went unstoppable with a heavy. So the evade counter didn't knock him back, so I ended up eating the SP1. But now we're at SP2 with 14 dark energy. And we're not using Mr. Negative again, so the damage really doesn't matter. We're not going to die either. He's just going to melt. So easy fight for Mr. Negative. It was nice to see it with Suicides. Right, so the rest of this war is all Captain Marvel. I have 2 fights on Path 5, which is Ebb and Flow Intercept, and then Modok on the Hazard Shift Mini. It's kind of funny. I felt like in the background while doing these fights, the song is playing. Just because it's kind of comical how long I made these fights when they didn't need to be this long. So ideally, enter binary as soon as possible while I have the indestructible up. Maybe throw in a few risky intercepts so that we can get it down. And then once we've got the Fury from Ebb and Flow Intercept and he doesn't have the protection, throw the SP2. And if it doesn't kill him, the heavy after it probably will. That's the game plan. That should be the game plan. And of course, that's not how it went. So you're going to see Immortal Abomination here throw a heavy that I thought I was well out of range for, and he was not actually out of range. So that put me in binary a lot sooner than I wanted to be and without an indestructible boost. So I'm going to throw this SP2 even with the protection up just to back him up, and so that I don't get to SP3, because I'm hoping to have these Furies when I remove this Ebb and Flow Intercept, which is actually right there. So now we're just going to town, especially since he isn't at a bar of power. I'm not worried about building those Furies back up or the binary up with any heavies, and I just throw this SP2. And here it is, he ends. So didn't even have the indestructible or the 5 Furies. But of course, made it longer than it needed to be by eating that heavy. Now, because our charges were low, it means that it's going to be a little bit to ramp up here with Terrax. So should be the same game plan. Intercept early, especially when we have the indestructible buff up. And then throw the SP2, and if that doesn't kill him, the heavy afterwards should. Otherwise, we have Cosmic Boost, so that can also take him out pretty quick. So just backing him up, trying to remember about Mighty Charge on this node. And you're going to see that I actually, right there, forget about it. So again, that's just some extra damage. Not really technically, because I have the invulnerability boost on, like not just the actual boost, but her buff was up. So decide to counter this SP1 with a heavy to build up binary. Unfortunately, we're at SP3 because we never got the protect off intercepted there, so decided to throw our SP3 while we've got a Fury buff. This is going to do quite a bit of damage. And now we're just going to throw some heavies and end him with the SP2. So again, made it longer than it needed to be. All right, moving on to this Modok. I'm going to use a Power Start 1. The hope is that I can cycle SP2s insanely quick at the start and just put him away during the poison phase. So we only have to go through possibly 1, maybe 2 cycles of Incinerate. But as you're going to see, I made this one longer than it needed to be. And had to turn my big boy pants on right there, because I thought his heavy was done enough to retaliate, and it ended up knocking me down and putting me in binary. So this SP2 is technically a rage SP2, but also I need to drop charges. I want to get out of binary and redo this rotation since Incinerate's coming up right here. And as you can see, I didn't get out of binary fast enough. So the Incinerate's not going to help me, it's just going to hurt me. And by the time I leave binary, he's already in poison. So it's going to be a little bit. I'm hitting into block, removing his auto block, baiting heavies, going back at him, trying to bait SB1 only, not pushing him to SB2 in case I time one of the blades wrong, and eat a heavy bleed. So now he's back in Incinerate. So now we're going to build up the binary pretty quick. We're about to be at SP2. Okay, now the real fight. He can go on. We can throw some SP2 without his auto block coming up. So now he's below 50%. And now we can kind of wail on him, taking away that shield, eating our opening. I decided to do a 5-hit there. The shield came back, so we took a combo. So again, making it longer than it needs to be. But still kind of playing it safe. He's in the Incinerate. I was baiting out SP2 there, so it let us eat up that timer. We're still in binary. We got an SP2 ready. He's in poison. So here, we're going to go ahead and throw it. Even though he blocks the hits, he can't block the beams. We're almost out of binary, and he's in Incinerate. So we're going to go ahead and build binary back up again. And as you saw, I only threw one hit in hopes that I did get incinerated and that only one incinerate was on me so that I didn't lose too much health. And boom, we're back in binary. So now it's just finish the fight. Be smart about his auto block. Don't eat a heavy. Remove the auto block. Hit him when it's down. And done. So that fight probably took 2 times longer than it should have. But not a bad war. We survived, didn't die. BG2 got our 3rd donut in a row to their battle group, dying twice. And NewN won 7-2. So we're doing great with deaths, especially this war. Brought it down below 3, which is good. It's where we need to be to beat some of the stronger alliances we haven't faced yet in hopes of landing in top 3. But pretty chill war for me. Attribute it to the fact that I have Mr. Negative and I know how to play him, so it sends me at specific matchups. But we also didn't have a Mojo boss, so I didn't have to get ready for a boss fight. Thanks for stopping by. Keep your eyes out for the next one.